Jerry was now 17 hours into his fast of only drinking juice and abstaining from solid foods and sleep. It was around 2 in the morning. He found not eating to be easier than he thought. The juice seemed to give him energy. How great is fruit, he thought. All that excess energy from a tree condensed into a little pocket of goodness. Drinking orange juice seemed to him like drinking the sun's rays. That thought helped him battle this seasonal depression that he found himself in. Also, Jerry concluded that he had more energy because he wasn't wasting so much of it trying to figure out what to eat. And since he was never that hungry anyway, the juice seemed a perfect solution. It was getting close to that magic hour of 3 o'clock in the morning. What is it about that time that brings out the craziest ideas? Jerry had experienced this before when he was up all night studying in college. Maybe it has to do with the collective unconscious, he pondered. I bet if you took a census, you would find that's when most people are in the deepest sleep. That's when everyone's dreams are the most rampant. Everyone's uninhibited, crazy thoughts are flying around, bouncing off one another. All those fears and desires. Plus, I'm sure it doesn't help that so many drunks are crashing after the bars close at that time. Think of what raving damage they are contributing to the human psyche. I wonder if their uninhibited crazy thoughts are out there right now, trying to invade my consciousness. That's crazy. I'm not going to invite that kind of crazy thought into my head. Just then, Jerry looked at his alarm clock. It was past 3. Crap, he said aloud. I'm the one having the crazy thoughts. And then he laughed rather hysterically. Jerry didn't feel like watching TV, or like reading, or playing video games, or looking at porn, or exercising, or really much of anything. So he started pacing. His apartment didn't allow for much pacing. Luckily, he was in a basement apartment, so his footsteps didn't make much noise at all. He had gotten a deal on this place because of all the massive pipes running on the ceiling. The building was radiator heated, and the pipes that weren't carrying hot steam were usually filled with hot water. That made the winter a little more bearable for him. Unfortunately, as in many old buildings, calcium deposits formed in the radiator pipes, and when the steam forced through them, they would bang and clash. The vibrations of this could be heard throughout the whole building. Sometimes, Jerry would hear the banging at night from a distance, and it would slowly pull him from sleep. He would sleep restlessly, as the clanging of the pipes got louder and louder, as if taunting him. And finally, as if angry and determined to wake him, he would hear a final bang, come right from in his room, louder than any of the others, forcing him awake in a panic. He would quickly turn on the light, scared to death, and not another sound would be heard. If you asked Jerry about this and he told you that he would never think to consider it a paranormal experience, he would be lying to you, outright. It was 4:30 now, and Jerry was getting delirious. He kept on seeing things out of the corner of his eye, looking quickly to find nothing there. He would follow a train of thought, get lost, and find himself almost in a dream, almost asleep. When he realized this, he would quickly snap out of it and reorient himself. Determined to stay awake, he splashed cold water on his face, decided it would feel better all over his body, and jumped in the shower, alternating the temperatures from as hot as he could handle to as cold as he could handle. He had always thought his shower had the water pressure of fairy pee. Getting out of the shower, he dried off, and then took a good long look at his face in the mirror. He tried to look at it without focusing on any one part. His face seemed to not be able to stay still. He was still, but the image moved around. He saw on his face a rough boxer, a self-loathing weakling, a handsome jet-setter, an Egyptian pharaoh, a Japanese soldier, a tired and broken homeless man, and a dirty-dealing devil, circa early Twilight Zone episodes. That's it, thought Jerry. I am officially off my rocker. This experience wasn't entirely new to him. He had experience with hallucinogenic mushrooms in high school and some in college, but this was a bit more vivid, maybe because he felt like he earned the experience. He had endured mild suffering to get to this point. He wondered if suffering was the key. If he suffered more, would he experience more? Have an even more vivid vision? Jerry compared the experience he was having to eating mushrooms as the difference between paying for something up front and buying something on credit. With drugs, you took a dose, hopefully had a transcendental experience, and you paid for it later. And, as with credit, you always seemed to have to pay interest, and after a while you found that all you were paying was interest. And more often than not, after a long period of time, that experience would go into collections, and you would have it repossessed. With this, Jerry figured, I'm putting money down and getting a fair trade. The more I endure, the more I can receive. I have to keep this idea close to the foreground of my mind and use it as fuel to see how long I can take this. Jesus, he said aloud, I have to get away from this mirror before I fall in it. It was now close to 6, so Jerry put on his boots, his hat and coat, and headed out for a walk in the dark. As he started out his door, he said aloud, "You know what this is? This is just dreaming out loud." Then, realizing he was talking to himself, he self-consciously went on his way, making a mental note to try not to act like a crazy person come the light of day.